We're back once again, only on its last call. Last call of the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel. Joining me here on location, well, the champ is here. He's one of the 2023 Kansas City Super Bowl champions, or 2022 season. Drafted the first round, 6 sacks, heading with defense. It's a roller coaster ride. We're happy to have him on the show. I give you Kansas City star defensive end rookie. I give you George Karlaftis. So George, when did it hit? Like, when did it actually hit? Man, it's like, holy crap! I got drafted by the Chiefs. I played the entire season, started and won a Super Bowl all my first year. Like, when did it like actually hit? Like, holy crap! I actually was part of this magical ride.
It honestly, it really hasn't still. I kind of came to fact and figured out and realized that I'm a Super Bowl champion, but just the fact that everything that's gone on in my life, just uh, haven't really been able to really put it into words and still trying to reflect on it. And for me, I'm just super fortunate and blessed really to be in this situation.
It's funny because most teams that win, they're veteran teams. It's rookies don't usually start that much. This year, there was a lot of rookies starting. There was there was Trey McDuffie, there was Leo Chanel. You had Watson, you had Williams. I mean, there was a bunch of rookies on defense, and you guys made impact. How much pride do you take on that? But you were able to literally go from college to the pros, make an impact. And for you, it was you started making an impact in the second half of the season when most rookies get tired.
Yeah, so for me, it wasn't really about pride, or for our whole class, really about pride that, oh, we're rookies and we're starting and we're playing and we're doing well and this kind of stuff. It was more just about helping the team, quite honestly. And that's something the precedent that was set by the veterans. They helped us, because they helped us get better and keep us accountable every single day, because they knew in order for our team to be successful that we'd have to play a big role in that. And I think that's kind of what you saw throughout the playoffs, the latter part of the season, and even the Super Bowl. So yeah, I think the testament would have to go to the coaches, the organization, and especially the veterans too.
I want to talk about your second half because the first half there was, you're trying to get sacks, you're getting pressures, and it's just, all of a sudden a quarterback will roll one way or the other way, and you're just missing them. Like, what changed? What changed from like game 8 to game 17, where all of a sudden it's like you're getting sack after sack after sack, like Burrow, you're getting Garoppolo. I mean, you're getting guys who are tough. So for you, like, what changed?
Well, I think in there, there's a bye week, and for me that was big. Just kind of taking a deep breath and coming to terms with everything. It was not the start I wanted from an individual perspective. I think we'd only lost one game at that point, maybe two. So for me, I just kind of had to take a deep breath, reflect, get better as a player, and really go from there. And I think that's kind of what you saw. I focused and I focused on myself and what I can improve, and I self scouted. Meaning, I just went back and like, all right, what do teams think of me, opponents, and what can I do to help this team win games at the end of the day?
Take me to the Super Bowl. Like, what's it like when all of a sudden you're there and that's what you dream of? I mean, every player when they start playing when very youth football, it's like I'm gonna play in the Super Bowl one year. That's the goal. That's for everybody. For you, what was that like when you first got on the field and you're trying to get in the mental game, you're trying to get into it, and it's just like all of a sudden the moment hits and it's like, okay, this is pretty awesome. It's intimidating, but it's pretty friggin' awesome.
Yeah. So for us, it was really just try not to think about it as the Super Bowl. Obviously, we're in the Super Bowl. We know the stakes are high and all this stuff, but we just wanted to treat it like any other game and give our best foot forward, not try to get too caught up in the moment. Obviously embrace it and take advantage of those emotions, but also keeping your mind in it too. Uh, so we just try to keep our emotions and play just like any other game, prepare more than any other game, and just be in it as much as possible, not think about the media, the attention, the spotlight, and just really play for each other. We kind of started to realize, during that last drive of the offense, all right, like now this is this is kind of the reality of the situation, and it was wild. It was wild.
How difficult was it for you? Like, you're trying to get, you're trying to put pressure on Jalen Hurts. You're also trying to contain him because you don't want him getting to the outside. You don't want him taking off. You did a pretty decent job at most part. Then all of a sudden, he starts getting hot. Like, for you, how tough is that? And you have a guy who literally, he can make everything happen with his feet or his arm.
Exactly. That's the tough thing about playing against a guy like Jalen, and he could do it all. He could throw it, he could run it. They got a great O line, or they did last year, and everything changes in the offseason. But they had a great O line, great receivers, so they were firing on all cylinders. So for us, it was a challenge. We knew that we couldn't let him beat us with his feet, so we really try to put an emphasis on containing him. um, but from there on out, really, it was just about playing as hard as we can and executing our assignments. I think that's kind of what you saw change from that first to second half. Is we just executed. We didn't do anything different schematically, but we just executed, and that's really what it was about. Especially when you play a great team and a great quarterback like he is, and they had.
We're definitely gonna go back to the Super Bowl in a bit, but I'm glad you brought up the offseason. Frank Clark is gone. You probably might have Carlos Dunlap gone. He's a free agent. You have Deshaun Watts, Wharton. He might be gone. He's a free agent. Like, how weird is it all of a sudden where it's like you're one of the veterans now with defensive line. You're one of the returning stalwarts, and it's like, oh crap, there might be a whole brand new bunch of people. You have to learn their names and learn how to sort of play with them.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of part of the profession. You roll with the punches. Uh, if I know for me, I'm going to bring my best foot forward every single day and give it my all to this organization because they believed in me. But at the end of the day, I have a job to do, and whoever it's with, I have a job to do. I love the guys in the room and what and how much they helped me and cared for me, just like I tried for them this past year in the room. But at the end of the day, that's part of the job is the turnover. So you just got to roll the punches.
For the off season, what do you do now? I mean, you have some time off, so you're relaxing, you're hanging out with friends, you're bringing the Super Bowl trophy, showing everybody, hey, got a Super Bowl trophy here, my Super Bowl ring. But when do you start like get working on strength and conditioning? When do you start going,
Right.
okay, I want to get stronger, I want to get bigger? So that last year, when I had problems with bigger offensive tackles, bigger offensive guards who were pulling, I can get used to them now this year.
Right. Well, for me, I took 21 days off on the dot, and then I was back to it. Actually, last Monday I started back up, and you want to do enough so you can become a better football player, but at the end of the day, you also don't want to get burnt out because the season's really really long. So for me, I think I found a balance and kind of working from Monday to Friday and really giving it my all, strength and conditioning, and kind of just especially more in the off season than anything, and just kind of on the weekends, just relaxing, laying low, doing recovery type stuff, just so I could be mentally and physically, loose and refreshed when it comes time for the season. Because before I blink, it's going to be here again.
You're a guy who relies on speed, on motor, on hustle. What's the optimal weight that you and the team are going, okay, this is what we want you to be at? Because I'm guessing, you want to put on weight, but you don't want to get too big, like
Yeah, there's a
285, 290.
there's a medium. There's a medium. I played this past season between 260 and 265. In college I was like 275. So I lost 10 pounds, and I feel like that helped me out a lot. So yeah, between that 260, 265 range, we haven't had those meetings where they kind of tell me exactly where they're at, but that's kind of how I felt. I feel like they have a similar feeling to that, and for me it's not a huge issue. I could gain or lose weight as easy as possible. So it's not a huge deal, and it's part of the job at the end of the day.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, George Karlaftis is joining us here on the show. We're talking all things Super Bowl. We're talking off season here. It's the fit. How, does it's is it still for you like weird, but everything has fallen into place. I mean, you came over to this country and you were 13 years old. You had to learn, the English language, slang, and all that. You played college football at Purdue. You now are playing the Super Bowl. I mean, this is like something that most people look and go, I didn't see this happening. So, do you ever have those moments where you're just sitting there and it's like, I didn't see this coming. I didn't think this was going to happen this quickly. I didn't think this is going to, all happen to me, before I turned 22 years old.
No, I mean, if you would have told me 10 years ago that this would have happened, I wouldn't believe you. It's been a real blessing, and the I was raised by my parents and by the teaching of my family, and our morals, our values, our beliefs, help me um reach reach and achieve my dreams, and that's something I'll take with me for my whole life. But those beginnings for me are everything that I give credit to, and just what my parents taught me. That would have to be it.
One of the things I've heard about you is you're big into faith. You're big into, being a Christian here. And you've had your struggles. I mean, your father passed away when you were younger. You've had to, your senior year in college. A lot of people going, well, he might not get drafted in the first round. Hey, he might have peaked. Hey, he might not be that good. And, you know, part of a, problem 2020 was COVID hit. And well, that took off. I mean, for you, how big is faith sometimes when you've had setbacks? All these setbacks sometimes you must be like at times like going, crap, I can't catch a break. Crap, this is hitting to me. Why is this hitting? Why am I, suffering from all of this?
I never thought of myself as any kind of a victim. Coming from where I come from, a lot of time that's all people have is faith. For better days, more opportunities, and that kind of stuff. So look, I view a lot of these issues as really just put it like it is, as first world problems. You're talking about being a first rounder, not being a first rounder, playing college football in COVID, that like people being in this position is truly a blessing, so I'm not gonna complain for stuff that I and a lot of people dream about, if that makes sense. So that's something that's big for me. And I think a lot of time God gives his toughest battles to his toughest soldiers. And there's a lot of trials and tribulations, not just through my life, but anyone's. And I think those are there for a reason. I think if you ask God to give you strength, He's going to put you through some kind of test in order for you to get stronger. He's just not just going to, here you go. So that's my thoughts on that question.
George Karlaftis role model. How weird is that, at this point? Because you never think it, but now all of a sudden you are one. For a lot of kids, you're the role model. This guy who humble beginnings, all American Purdue, all rookie, all Kansas City rookie of the year, Super Bowl champion. There's people now looking up to you. There's people who come up for your autograph, who, they say you're a number one fan. How weird is that sometimes when it's like, holy,
It's
am I
it's
ready
really
for this? Am I ready to be an influence on the young kid's life?
it's not about me being ready or not, because that nobody cares, because I've been put in this position. I like credit, a lot of my success, like I said, to the way I was raised. But I think everything starts with that. I always try to do the right thing, whether someone's watching or nobody's watching. And, to kids, or really whoever, likes me or is a supporter of me, or even if you're not, I remember being a kid and going up to, I was in Greece at that time, going up to basketball players or soccer players and asking them for their autograph. So that's something that, as a football player right now, I tried to do those autographs as much as I can. I always fall short of it just because there's so many fans, and you can't sit there and sign thousands of autographs, there's not enough hours in the day. But I I kind of put myself in their shoes and remembering kind of my childhood moments and looking up to athletes. Yeah, that and it's crazy that I dreamed about being a professional athlete, and now it's that now that's coming to fruition, and being that role model for kids is something that comes with it, and always try to do my best, not just for myself or for them, but for my family, really.
When for you was the moment where you stopped getting starstruck? Because you got drafted by the Chiefs, and every rookie, I'm guessing, every player has it. Because all of a sudden you look around, oh crap, Travis Kelsey, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones,
Yeah. Well, that
Clark, and I'm
with
guessing there
guys
must be
like
days when
that,
it's like, yeah,
with superstars, that are currently playing, I never had an issue because the first day I was in the Chiefs facility, that the veterans were there. Patrick came up and introduced himself and kind of broke the ice, and so did Travis, and so did Chris. Whenever it was the first time I saw them, I was in the building, and they did that with every rookie, and they do that with every guy. And that's something that's special about our organization. Not going to say it's unique because I'm sure all the other places are like that too, but that's something special, just so everyone feels welcome, and it's not like you're above me and all this stuff just because you're a better football player. It's really like a family environment here, and I think that helped out. But to the starstruck question, I think if I saw Michael Jordan, and I got to meet him and all that stuff, I would 1000% be starstruck. So, now it's kind of, I'm a pro football player, and that sounds kind of weird to say. I've played against some of the best. I played against Tom Brady and all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy, and it's really a blessing to be in this position. But I'll never forget, Patrick coming up to me and saying, "What's up?" That first day I was in the facility, because I was, I was a little starstruck at that point. But guys that are your teammates breaking the ice and doing stuff like that is great, and makes it really a family environment.
So, last question for let you go. I want to know what was it like when you win the Super Bowl, and then every player gets to hold the championship trophy. When you got it, like what was that sensation where it's like all the sacrifice, all the the blood, the sweat, the tears, as they
Right.
say, all the giving up everything for not just this year but years past. What was that like holding that trophy and just realizing I'm part of history now? I am a Super Bowl champion. They can never take that away
I
from me.
I wasn't thinking about myself, to be quite honest. And it didn't hit me when I held the trophy. I was on the we were on the sidelines. That last play, they sub everyone out. They put all the defensive backs in, and just to play it safe for them not to throw a Hail Mary. And I remember watching the play, and then we won. And whenever you win, on the last second play, it's a big deal. You get on the field, you give hugs, but this was different. Um, Everyone was going absolutely crazy. I was thinking first of all about my teammates, and then a little bit of time came in. Then they let the families in and stuff. But I was just thinking about my dad. My dad passed away 8 years ago, and just I don't know if it's a moment of gratitude, more about reflection and gratitude. I would have to say, for him, and really trying to be the leader of my family, and you know, being there for my siblings, and just reflecting on that aspect of my life. And then my girlfriend came and my siblings came, and that was awesome. To be able to celebrate with them, and then one in the locker room with my teammates. But that was kind of revolving. I mean, obviously we got the pictures and all that stuff that you'll remember forever. Um, but it was a surreal moment, really a fireworks. With all the emotions going on, there was a lot. But it was incredible and unforgettable.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're proud to have on the show. I give you it's Kansas City Chiefs 2022 Super Bowl champions defensive end and rookie of the year. I give you it's George Karlaftis. George, before I let you go, so where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, the website, and where can fans, I guess, check out more of a footage from this year's Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl run?
But if you want to check out the stuff from the Super Bowl run, you go to Chiefs or Chiefs.com. They got an app. The Chiefs put out a lot of stuff. For my social, just my name, George Karlaftis. I think I just have Instagram and Twitter. Not on there too much. Post a little bit. If I post something, it'll be somewhat. I'm not even gonna say significant. I don't make frequent posts, so you know you might get to see them. You know.
George Karlaftis, ladies and gentlemen, once again, always an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show. Congratulations, champ. Once again, Super Bowl champion 2022 NFL season. We come back, a lot more going on here, only on its last call. Last call with the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel.